Hey everyone, so episode 5 just premiered tonight and let's talk about it. There's going to be spoilers with this, so please look away if you haven't watched it. If you have watched it, let's talk about it. My goodness, man, what I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think that was how it's going to go down, but basically what happened is we're going to do a little bit of recap. So it opens up in 1693 during the trial of Agatha where she kills the whole coven. Then, as we go back to the road, we see a fox, we see a raven, we see a snake, and come to find out, those omens, those animals, were actually the Salem Seven this whole time in a disguise. Um, they picked up some kind of like a black stone. I don't know what that was, but Rio knows also what Lilia has seen, so that's kind of an interesting tidbit. I liked how they pulled up the roots from the trees to make the brooms, and they were flying over the blood moon. Um, and then, as they were flying, the road was pulling them back down, and they had to go ahead and land. And then they ended up being in a house. This was the '80s attire house, and this was Agatha's trial, essentially. Um, the trial consisted of a Ouija board where the were communicating with the spirits. They couldn't move their hands. They couldn't talk over each other. They couldn't. There was a couple more rules in there that they had to follow in order to for this trial to be successful. Um, they all kept their hands on the board, but then I like how Agatha was pretending it was actually Mrs. Hart, and then she was trying to fool everybody, but Rio called her out on it. That one thing I noticed though, they all had watches, which was a really interesting thing. They all had a watch all of a sudden, so I guess that's how everybody was measuring the timer. Um, the Rio knew that when they were talking about that she laughed. So I don't know if that there's something else that she is aware of that we don't know about, because I think her character is going to go ahead and expand a lot more than we possibly think. We see Agatha's mom, and then she's a ghost. She ends up possessing Agatha, and then they kind of have a heart to heart conversation, and then in order to pass the trial, Agatha needs to stay behind. And what happens is Alice's power was like ember, golden yellow power, and Agatha couldn't control it, so she absorbed all the power from Alice, and Alice ended up dying, which, well, I didn't think they were going to go ahead just kind of start, eliminating. So I don't know. Are they going to eliminate everybody? I don't know if they're going to go ahead and eliminate one by one. Because Mrs. Hart now it's gone. Alice is gone. So she's not going to get to see maybe her mom down the road. We don't know. Maybe she'll show up again. Um, One thing I also noticed is when the teen was talking to Agatha, she said, "You are so much like your mother," which come to now I'm thinking that maybe that he is a Viken who is a son of Wanda. So maybe that M was actually upside down W for Wanda Maximoff. It could be just Maximoff, but that was a really interesting tidbit. And then all of a sudden, out of freaking nowhere, man, the his power was like bluish, purplish. I'm not sure. And then he controlled the witches. And how powerful is this kid? And then all of a sudden, his crown at the end showed up too. So we are seeing nods to the Wanda. We are seeing that um, maybe Rio was actually right, and that Rio knew from the beginning that the kid is actually Wanda's son. So this was a great episode. It started off kind of okay, how are they going to go ahead and do this? But then, right towards the end, my goodness, with Alice's death and his powers showing, and we got a little bit more of a backstory from Agatha's mom. That was a nice little touch. But this was a really good episode. They're continuing down, following the lyrics of the Witch's Ballad Road, and it looks like each trial is going to contain a clue from the song. So that's a really really cool tidbit. Um, I like how they showed the 1693, and they showed what happened. They showed how Agatha is able to absorb that much actual power all of a sudden and just eliminate everybody. So Agatha is very, very, very sinister, and Agatha knows what she needs to do. But then at the end, they also said that's why we're all here. We're here to get our power. We're here to um, get more powerful. And right at the end, when Agatha kind of put her hand up, the Alice's colors of the power kind of popped up. So I don't know if she's kept that power. I don't know if she's going to be able to use it, or it disappears while she's on the road, or it's going to be whatever she collects while she's on the road. Once she's out, then she's gonna keep that power outside. Um, the omens were really, really cool touch. I wasn't sure how they're gonna do that, but I'm glad to see that it's actually Salem 7. They've been following them all along. Also, now I am completely answered my own question from the previous. They were able to get into the Witch's Road, and I was wondering how they're going to go ahead and follow them, but it looks like they can. It looks like they have access to it. The reveal of the teen, and when she called him a familiar, he was mad. He was so mad, and he was not having it anymore. And this was a really, really good episode, and they really packed in a little bit more information in there, which is great. The whole blood moon, them flying over the blood moon was super Halloween, which is awesome. And it's nice to see. It looks like Agatha gets really powerful during the blood moon process, and that's something that maybe it's going to get explored later on down the road. No pun intended. The Ouija board also contained a little bit of clue where the ghost finally revealed it could have been Nicholas Starch, who was Agatha's son, and then she heard that faint little voice coming through, which was, oh my God, what they're gonna do that? How are they going to go ahead and explain? Is she gonna have to really face him? Is he grown up now? Is he also is he a warlock? Is he who is he? Where is he? Where has he been? And also, is he maybe the agent of Mephisto, like Jen was talking about in the first two episodes, in the second episode? So we don't know. There's a lot of these little windows open for interpretation on what could possibly happen down the series. We are at the episode 5, so we have 4 more episodes to go before we get to the final conclusion. Marvel, if you're watching this, great job. This is turning out better and better. Catherine Hahn, my goodness, she is so great. Her personality switches. Her right at the end, she kind of leaned into the familiar. Says, "You are so much like your mother," and she knew right away. And he was mad. And also, we saw sigils around his hands. We saw sigils forming. So maybe it was like a Doctor Strange magic a little bit almost. So I don't know if he is maybe also a student from Kamatage, and he knows about the Kamatage, and he knows about Doctor Strange and the sorcerers, but I feel like the team knows a lot more than he's leading up on, mainly with this reveal now. What? This was really, really good. If you have seen it tonight, let me know what you think. Give me some answers. I am kind of going in the blind with this, so hopefully they're going to go ahead explain much more for me, because I didn't read the comics, and so this will be really, really cool to get a little bit more details, get a lot more lore, and I am enjoying this a lot. So I didn't expect Alice to die, and that was really, really sad. So hopefully she was able to come back somehow, and maybe they'll be able to make a deal to bring back the dead ones, and then all of a sudden, it's going to cost them something. So I'm looking forward to find out more about Salem 7. It's nice to see them out there. It was great. They're coming in the form of omens. So if you have seen it, let me know what you think. This was a really good episode. So hopefully we're going to get to see more of the magic and what these witches are capable. So stay tuned. More reviews of the TV shows coming up soon. And let me know what you think. Leave a comments below, and we'll talk very, very soon.